So there's a lot of confusion over how to power a RAK 1watt booster kit. There are conflicts in the documentation, there's ambiguity. I've been talking with the RAK WisBlock product owner for the past week. We've been going back and forth with email. He's clarified a ton for me. They've even updated some of their documentation based on my feedback. And I've got a couple of diagrams that I just spent hours creating that I think really clears it all up for you. So I think the majority of the confusion is caused by the fact that WisBlock is a modular platform. So a lot of the documentation is referring specifically to the snap-in module here. So this is the RAK 13302 booster module. This is the actual LoRa radio that puts out the 1 watt. It's compatible with Meshtastic and Mesh Core. So you can set up a really nice high power repeater with this unit here. But as you can see, the module doesn't work as a standalone product. It's mounted to this baseboard here. So this is a RAK 19007. You have a RAK 3400 or 3401 assembly core module here. That's where your firmware is flashed. And this also has the Bluetooth radio, which you can see I have connected here. So the modularity of the platform creates a lot of ambiguity when you're reading through the documentation. So I'm going to set aside the confusing documentation for a second, and I want to just make this super clear for you on what are your two options for powering this device. So the first mode is called external power. There's actually a jumper on the booster module itself. So that's this little jumper right here. So right now it's in the internal position. You just pull it right off. You can see the 3 pins and you can move it to the external position. So with the jumper in the external position, you need to provide 5 volts, 1.5 amps DC current to this connector on the back of the board. And they do provide a cable for you to make that connection. So with the jumper in this position and 5 volts, 1.5 amps provided here, this can power the entire assembly. So it'll power the LoRa radio on the booster module, but it'll also feed power into the baseboard itself and power the baseboard too. Now, as far as what to actually specifically connect for the 5 volts, you could get something like this. So this is a simple AC to DC, power supply. So this is rated for 5 volts, 3 amps. So this would be plenty. It has a little barrel jack and it comes with this connector. So I could take this provided cable that comes with the starter kit, make this connection here, and I could power the entire thing. So for some reason, RAK is kind of unwilling to provide suggestions or recommended products for actually powering the device through this method. I kind of wish they would, but I'm sure you could come up with some sort of solar power solution that would, have a solar panel, charge a battery, but then provide 5 volts to that connector as well. So that's something I'm going to explore myself once I have a little bit of time to play around with that. I think because of the high power demands of this unit, I have a bunch of 12 volt solar panels and batteries and stuff. I think it might be interesting to see what kind of setup that would look like and have some sort of converter that would step the voltage down to 5 volts and have just like a really robust solar solution for the 1 watt booster. Now, if you're looking for something like this to power your device, I'll try to find some on Amazon and put some links in the description below. Now, another cool thing about the external power option is you can actually install an optional battery, a 3.7 lithium-ion rechargeable battery, to the battery header on the 19007, and the power that's coming in through the module will charge the battery. And so effectively the battery can serve as a backup. So if you have this connected to an AC power supply and you lose power, this battery will always be there to provide backup power during power outages and stuff like that. So that's a really cool feature, even with the jumper set to the external 5 volt option. Now, the other option to power the device is to set the jumper to the internal position and use a 3.7 volt battery, rechargeable lithium ion battery, to power the device. And so in this configuration, the module will be pulling power from the WisBlock power circuitry itself to power the radio. So that's how I have this device set up right now. This is actually an enclosure from one of our Atlevox solar beacons. I don't have this available as a standalone product yet, but it is something that I'm working on. So I have a 5,000 milliamp hour battery underneath here, feeds into our power switch. So we have these waterproof panel mounted switches with the JST connectors built right in. So you just plug your battery in and then the other end goes right into your WisBlock. So it's like a plug and play battery disconnect switch. So we have these available on atlevox.com if you want to check these out. So the battery's feeding into the WisBlock. I've got the jumper in the internal position, so I can turn the switch on, and in a couple seconds we'll see a green LED light here, and this is a fully functioning, so you can see the light, and this is a fully functioning 1 watt booster radio. So despite a lot of the terminology and the documentation on the RAK Wireless website, you can power a 1 watt booster radio 100% from a 3.7 volt lithium ion battery. Now, the thing is, you're going to drain the battery a lot faster because this is a higher power device than your typical mesh-tastic or mesh core radio. So it's recommended to use one of these three options to provide charging for the battery. So you can either plug USB-C power into the WisBlock, or you can use the solar header connector here to connect a 5 volt solar panel or 5 volt DC power. Now, the important distinction is you can't power this device alone through the USB port or the solar input header. So both of these connections feed into the charge controller on the 19007, and it just doesn't provide enough current for peak transmit when this is transmitting at that full 1 watt. So that's what the documentation is trying to convey when it talks about USB power and the solar input there. So any of these options here, if you want to have continuous charging for the battery, you can't use these alone. They're just to supplement and provide charging for the battery. So you have to use a battery when you're using the internal power option. So the biggest question remaining for me is capacity. So RAK, for some reason, is kind of unwilling to provide like minimum requirements for like battery capacity or solar panel size or anything like that. They're just kind of like leaving it up to us to figure out like what's going to work. But that's the biggest question. It's like, how much power does this device use, and realistically, how much buffer do you need to bridge any gaps in clouds and stuff like that if you wanted to make this a solar deployed standalone unit. So I'm going to be doing some experimentation once I get some time to try to answer those questions. And by the way, I do hope to get some of these 1 watt boards in our store at atlevox.com. I just need to talk to Rockland, our RAK supplier. They're the North American distributor for RAK. So make sure you subscribe so you can get notified when we do that. In the meantime, definitely keep an eye on Rockland if you're in the United States. They're going to be your best bet for grabbing one of these boards, and I'll try to put some links below for you guys to compare prices and things like that. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.